Is real estate a good investment during inflation? In this video, I'm going to talk about why real estate could be a great investment during inflation. We'll answer all the questions and I'll give you the information that everybody's talking about. So don't feel bad if that doesn't make sense to you. At the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this is so important to understand the relationship of both inflation and real estate prices and values and all that good stuff. Now, I've got a really special treat for you. Stick around to the very end and I'll show you exactly how you can utilize this information to help provide financial independence for you and your family. Thumbs up, as usual. If not, make comment, do any kind of information you want to do inside there, but help me help you get this. Okay, so let's get right down to it because I've just got a little bit of time here. Let's just talk about the relationship. Why is it that everybody talks about inflation and real estate in the same breath? There's so many levels of cause and effect that happen, second order consequences that you have with this. If I am a builder and I am buying land to build properties so that I can sell them to the public later on, and it starts costing me more money, hence inflation, for the products to build that, it goes up. Real simply, if it cost me $350,000 to build a home 2 years ago, and I was selling it for, let's say $550,000 a home. Now that same home with inflation, during this recording right now, from 2 years ago to right now, it would cost you approximately 31% more to build exactly the same thing. That's how inflation is going to affect it. So if I'm a builder, I'm going to sit there and say, well, wait a second. Okay, so in order to make the same exact money, that $550,000 home is now going to be is going to cost $650,000 home. Typically, not always, but typically in inflationary times, not only are prices going up on goods and services, but you've got the Federal Reserve. We've all heard them. It's not part of the government. The Federal Reserve is a private organization that sets the rate, the overnight rate for banks. So the feds are going to say, hey, we got to cool this economy down because it's going crazy. So we're going to slow it down by raising interest rates to slow the heat of it down, so to speak, if that makes sense. So they raise interest rates. So now, not only is that $550,000 home $650,000, but it's going to cost me more to borrow the money from the bank to buy that house. So it costs me more money, and it's going to cost me more money to borrow the money. So you get this double whammy. So you got these people out there that are going, okay, wait a second. I've got 3% now in my current home. If I go buy a new home, the same home that I could have bought 2 years ago is now 30% higher maybe because of the cost of construction, and the cost of the money to borrow to buy that home is a lot higher. What was a $2,500 a month payment can be as much as $3,900 or $4,200 or even $4,500 a month for that. So this just starts to steamroll with it. That's why they talk about the relationship between the two. So if I'm looking at this, so I got to go, okay, what am I going to do? I got to make more money. So I go to my boss and say, I've got to make more money, or I find a job that's going to pay me more money. Then my boss says, okay, it's costing me more money to produce this over here because my team is costing me more money. It's just kind of like a dog chasing its tail, isn't it? Okay, it just goes around. That's why it's so important. You can get all conspiratorial if you want, and you can talk about, we should be in the fiat system. That's what this is called, where you've got a Fed Reserve and we can borrow against our ability to pay back and all that stuff, as opposed to a gold reserve. You've heard people talk about that. We went off that in 1972 under the Nixon administration. Up until that point, every dollar we had to have gold, okay, to back that up. Gold goes up, gold goes down, our value goes up, it goes down. I mean, there's such fascinating history behind that. Literally, with the function of government that we have and the global economy that we have right now, it just, I don't know. Comment this if you want, I don't care. It doesn't make sense. The fiat, it actually does work pretty well. The problem is, this promotes certain people to make more money than others, but you have to understand how this is going to affect it. Is real estate a good investment during inflation? You're darn right it is. It's always a good time to have inflation or buy a piece of real estate, whether it's inflation or not. I always like it. When's the best time to buy a piece of real estate? When you get a good deal. You got to really get good at the art of finding good deals. So if I'm sitting there looking at a piece of property and I'm paying full boat on it in an inflationary time, it's not a good deal. You've got to get even better at finding that distressed property or what have you. Now, the problem with distressed properties, everybody starts looking at that because the new ones are no longer, they don't cash flow because of inflation and all that other good stuff we just talked about. So you've got it kind of, again, there's that dog chasing its own tail. But at the same time, okay, I know how you can get what I call the go back machine or a time machine. So what if you could go back 2 or 3 years from now and buy those properties that were less expensive and go from that? Wouldn't that be nice? Well, there's actually a way to do that. And this is not something new. This is something I've been doing for over 30 years. If any of you have been watching my videos, you know what I'm about to say. And that's purchasing tax lien certificates on properties or tax deed on properties. So there's a difference between the two. So if I'm buying a tax lien, all I'm doing is I'm going in and I'm saying, okay, the property owners failed to pay off the property taxes. The county needs this money. What do they need this money for? They need it for roads, bridges, fire department. Most importantly, the most money that comes out of the county budget is for schools. They do not have the ability to print money like the federal government. This is literally the most pure form of judicial spending that you're going to find because they literally can only spend what they get. So if you're not paying your property taxes, everybody within the community suffers. Way before we even became a country, this has been instilled. This is not new. I didn't just invent this. This isn't some fly-by-night, get-rich-quick scheme. It's been around forever. So if you don't pay your property taxes, we need our money. Matter of fact, Thomas Jefferson, our third president, lost Monticello because he failed to pay the property taxes on that property. Okay, so it's been around for a while. So what happens is this: I don't get the property. If I put the money up to the county, let's keep it really simple. Let's say it's $2,000. I give them $2,000 in property taxes. And don't argue with me how much property taxes are in your area. I don't care. It's an example, hypothetical. So I give the county $2,000. They're going to give me a certificate that's going to pay an interest rate of 16, 18, 20. They don't pay it. Okay, so as high as 25%. When the property owner comes down to the county to pay the taxes, the county goes, oh, this guy's a lien holder of record. We're going to go ahead and cut him the check for his $2,000 plus the 18%. Not bad. Think about it. What are banks paying right now? 4% as of this recording, so you're getting a good rate of return. So some of you are asking, well, what happens if they don't pay their property taxes? Good question. They give them a grace period. This is a time period. This is a redemption period is a legal term to pay this off. And let's say it's 2 years. So if they don't pay the property taxes plus the interest rate within 2 years, as the lien holder, I've literally taken over the county's position. I can go ahead and foreclose on that property due to delinquent property taxes, and I will wipe out and extinguish all liens and encumbrances on that property, including a mortgage. What? Yeah. Okay, now, look, I'm not sneaking up and going, come on, no mortgage company. Everybody gets notified that I'm foreclosing. They've got one solution and one solution only. They have to come down, pay the property taxes to protect their position plus the interest rate. Boo-hoo, I get 18%. But make no mistake about it. There is no gray area. There's no ambiguity. If they fail to pay the property taxes within the prescribed amount of time, I get the property and I will own it free and clear for the back taxes. There's so much more that we can cover in this. Okay, for the sake of time, if this is something you think you want to sink your teeth into, I got good news. Click the link down below, higginsmethod.com. I've got a brand new course on this for free. Good price, no inflation there, right? For free, click on that link. I've got some videos that shows you how this works and we go into in-depth so you can figure out how to provide financial independence for you and your family. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck.